Hey everyone, it's been a while, at least a couple of weeks, but I know some of you guessed what I'm going to be talking about by the title, but we're going to be talking about Borderlands today. Not the Handsome Jack Collection, not the Game of the Year edition, not the pre-sequel, but Borderlands 4. If you, as always, let's get out the standard YouTube rhetoric out of the way, and that is, if you like my content, hit the like button. If you don't like my content or my face, hit the dislike button. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please keep it civil and put them in the comment section down below. And if you want to hear my audio content when I choose to post that up, because I'm the only one doing that, please feel free to visit the links down below in the description to find where we have our audio content. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about Borderlands 4. Yes, this game came out about, 3 weeks ago, give or take? Yes, it came out on the 12th, and it's now the 28th, so let's say about 3 weeks ago. Do I like this game? Well, I did. I'm getting bored with it, quite literally. This is my review, this is my thoughts on the game, everything, what I like, what I dislike. I'm going to be going back and forth. Yes, it's going to be long. I do apologize for that. But I only got maybe about, halfway into the game, not even, give or take. There was, over the past, about almost a week ago, a major update for it. And over this past 3 weeks, first things first, Randy has been Randy. For those of you who know, Randy is the head of Gearbox, and he's the CEO of Gearbox, and he has this nasty habit of going on these tirades. And since the drop of Borderlands 4, he's been on this tirade because people are saying, okay, this is now that the game's released, this is what's wrong, this is what we think needs to be updated. And in essence, Randy's been saying that's not an us issue, that's a you issue. One thing's because I play on a console, he stated some of the folks that have been playing, whether on Team Green or Team Blue, they've been asking, saying, hey, I've been getting a little bit of motion sickness. Where's the slider, the field of view slider, because that tends to help. And Randy pretty much said prior to the update, go to hell. Pretty much. If you, it's like, we're not doing that, screw you guys, basically. Come to find out, in the latest update for which included the consoles, guess what they included? The slider. So, that's a lot of things folks have said to Randy is, just shut the hell up, tell the customers we're working on it. But no, Randy's got to be Randy and just run his mouth. Again, despite folks like myself saying, Randy, you're doing this, do this. But that's the Randy issue, and we could talk about that for days, weeks, months. Heck, I've done it for days, weeks, months, and years. And Randy still wants to be Randy. So let's talk about the game itself. Graphically, it's fine. It looks nice. Granting, a lot of the issues that are with the game, from what I've been hearing, is the fact that it is the Unreal Engine 5, which has a lot of issues to begin with. Again, from what I've been hearing, and that's also the funny thing that's coming out from Randy, because he said, well, if you don't like the game, code your own game. And the thing is, people have coded their own game. Look at Hollow Knight. And the thing, the reason why I said that, because he said, a person who runs a company that used an engine that they did not code is complaining to their customers, well, if you don't like our game, code your own game and we'll be happy to buy it. So a lot of people found that kind of funny and everything else. But overall, it looks kind of nice, looks kind of beautiful, and it has a... Prior to going this game, I've heard some folks talk about that it has a Destiny feel, like Destiny 2 or OG Destiny feel to it. I could see, as someone who has casually played the original Destiny and Destiny 2 when it first came out, I could see where it's coming from, right? Because it feels, Borderlands 4 feels like it wants the Destiny player base that are fed up with Destiny, because I've been hearing that too as well, is that many folks with the current launch of whatever is going on with Destiny 2, players are getting mad at that. So I guess Gearbox, it wants those folks, hey, if you love playing Destiny 2, come play Borderlands 4. We got better loot, more things you can do, plus a lot of what we have is similar to what you're used to. I have no issue with that. The downside is, yeah, they can't really do what Destiny does, and it's why I do like some of the things that are in the Borderlands series, especially with what they're trying to do with 4. Meaning you could replay instead of kind of finagling around with like Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 3 that you had to finagle bosses to farm them. That's way easier now. Plus the way it has with like you could say community events, like how Destiny 2 has theirs, where there's a random event on the map that you could partake in to beat a boss or something along those lines and get loot, which is an interesting thing. We'll get into the issues with that in a moment, because there's a lot of things in this game that is frustrating, I don't like, and one of those is the community itself. Again, I've been having those since 2, but I like that. I like how that is. I've see what they're trying to do. The improvements I've seen are there, and I like that. The progression's there, and some of the things on this level, just going in, hopping in, I don't like, and I didn't really like how the menus in Destiny were, and they're trying to mimic that. I don't like that feel. I feel the earlier versions, like how they had it in 2, 3, and yeah, I'm using a Handsome Jack collection, but I feel that like the menus and the earlier stuff were way better. But again, I get it. But overall, I like the pacing. The story seems a little bit better. It's not on par with 2, as far as I've gotten into it. It's not on par with 2, but it's a little bit better than how 3 was, and that's good. There's more collectible, more things to do. The map does feel bigger. Yeah, everything's there, but that's when you get down to the nitty-gritty and the details, that's when the cracks start showing up. Again, as I complained about like the pre-sequel and Tiny Tina's, the game has a chance to rubber band, meaning as soon as you stretch that. Rubber banding, for those who don't know, and may have heard a lot of reviewers talk about it, whether in fighting games or racing games, and they don't talk about it, is that when there are times where if you get ahead or perceive to be better than the game, the programming just triggers a kind of like an algorithm or something in the programming that snaps everything back to make it way more challenging. Sometimes it overcompensates and makes something that may be on normal or easy extremely harder. So instead of playing on normal or easy, you're somehow playing it on the base level hard mode, or if you were playing it on hard mode, it just becomes even more difficult. That's the issue. What am I talking about? What are the examples for that? With the game, with Borderlands 4, you could clear out a section, and all of a sudden you take one step, or turn around to go down the right path. All of a sudden, 50, 60, what appears to be 50, 60 more enemies just instantly respawn. So that's, and it's like, what the hell? I cleared out the section and 50 more people are respawning in that room instantly. Granted, when in 3 they kind of did that. What didn't really happen in 2 or the pre-sequel. Yes, I'm using this game as this Handsome Jack collection as a prop, but still. But in 3, you'd go from, let's say, here to here, or here to here in the section of the map, and all of a sudden, yeah, more enemies respawn in front of you. That I didn't mind, but it wasn't like, okay, I cleared the section, all of a sudden, hey, instant. But it seemed the spawning of enemies in 3 seemed a little bit more progressing in regards to story. It just didn't seem like, hey, here's more, but just out of the blue. It's just frustrating. One of the things that they a lot of the stuff that they have in 4 seemed like they're cutting and pasting from the pre-sequel, 3, 2. It seemed cut and paste. Like some of the ham and egg animal baddies in this seemed like they were cut and pasted from the pre-sequel. The aspect of you taking over propaganda towers in 4 seems a little cut and pasted from 3, even though the mechanics are a little bit different. We'll get into that. Let's take a step back in regards to enemies, because those animals in the pre-sequel will curl up in a ball like armadillos, just like in the pre-sequel, and roll after you. And if you get rid of them or take their health down to 0, they'll pop into 2 separate more beasts and roll and come after you. Happens in 4, so it's like they just copied and pasted. And now let's get into the propaganda towers. In 3, you could just go there. You'd have the screen in front, in essence, here's the little device that activates or controls the tower. Oh, what do you have to do to take over this propaganda tower? Boop. That's it. Boop. Yeah. With 4, you launch your new Echo device, Echo 4, and your Echo 4 now has to hack that panel. And what happens when you hack that panel? When it hits like 25%, or as soon as that hack starts, you get enemies spawning. Not just regular ham and eggers. You get the normal ham and eggers, and you get the equivalent of like badasses and folk, not mid-level bosses or anything like that. Something with a main health bar that is like right at the top of the screen, that's in red. No, these are triple bar ham and eggers, and they have a lot of the ones that I've been hitting and hit at like level 15, level 16, level 17. You'd shoot at them with a norm. It didn't have any type of elemental damage to it, meaning corrosive, radiation, electric, or cold. These were just normal guns, normal pew-pews. What happened? Immune. Yeah, immune. block, or you shoot, you attack them, and it's like, oh, you did 400 damage to me. Guess what? We're healing for 350. Or we're healing for 375. You only did 25. So it made things, again, that's where the rubber banding hit. And you don't have one of these enemies. You don't have two of these enemies. You have 15. Plus you have another 30 regular ham and eggers that you have to deal with. Well, that was kind of unexpected. That was the local Amtrak, and like I said, it was like the Spanish Inquisition, completely unexpected. But back to what I was getting at, that was those tower aspects. Yes, it's designed to make things harder, but as someone, a lot of times that's playing the game, the only person, playing it on normal makes things very, very frustrating, very hard, and this is where the community is coming in. Oh, it's hard for you? It's hard for you? It's not hard for me. Now, these aren't before you hit the comment section, oh, they're probably the folks that are modding this. No, they're not. These are folks that are playing vanilla, like, at the time, myself. Vanilla, straight up vanilla. How is it hard for you? It's easy for me. Now, I'm getting one-shotted by these ham and egger enemies at level 15, level 16. Not the bosses, ham and eggers. Doing this little side quest event. Well, yeah, blah, 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 blah. This is on Facebook. Another issue I have is, again, there's things to do in this. In order to unlock additional, like something like a fast travel device, you have to take over safe houses and what they call silos. I guess they're kind of making a nod to the Fallout series, which is not a bad thing. Borderlands has been known to parody and make nods to other franchises, other things in pop culture. The thing with that is that sometimes, because when you have to clear out that enemy, for the group of enemies for the silos and safe houses, along with finding a data pad. Sometimes with these safe houses, at least with the safe houses, what happens with this, and it has happened with Borderlands 2, it has happened with Borderlands 3, I don't know if it's happened with the pre-sequel or other games, but there's been times when the enemies spawn in, they spawn in and fall through the map to a certain level, and what happens is the game will not let you progress in taking over that safe house or silo because it still counts that enemy still there even though it's not, and that enemy still in essence is counted amongst the living. And because of that, the data pad that you need to recover does not appear. And therefore, or the door to open up that safe house does not unlock. Or there's a third thing that I found out by watching other podcasters, other folks talk about Borderlands 4, is that, you want that safe house to unlock, or that silo to unlock, and that data pad to appear, you have to do side missions A, B, C, and D for that silo to unlock. Don't know why. I'm there. It's showing that I can do that, but I can't. Apparently, it's tied to or the unlocking of that. I can't do that. I did manage to get to one silo. I couldn't find a data pair for the life of me. And the thing is, again, using this case as a prop, the silo is right, let's say right here, I have to go all the way around, like in a spiral motion, to get to the entrance of that silo. Because going this way, it's a straight up cliff. Going up here, it's a straight up cliff. Or the levels, like to do it like this. Let's say there's a climbable level, so you can kind of see better. Climbable level from here to here. Guess where the ceiling is? Right there. Right where the game case is. Right there. That's where the ceiling for jump, meaning you can't jump on here because the game ceiling is for right there. I have to literally walk around everything. Now, speaking of walking, there's also, you could take over these like oil rigs as well. I'm going to cover these two things simultaneously, meaning you could take, because some of these oil rigs have better loot as a reward for taking them over, and you have to kind of snag a power core and bring it platform to the top of that tower in order to take over that oil rig. Same thing with, and I'm going to use this this is a tablet I've been using. It doesn't work. I found it. Screen is completely cracked. But there are two aspects of the game. Again, the oil rig and decoding. Now, here's the aspect and the frustration that Borderlands does. Oh, I need to take this power cord to the top of that. I can't carry it. This isn't going in a backpack. This isn't going into my inventory. Neither is this. So I could get up to that top. I have to carry it. So what do I have to do to these two items? I have to throw them. But whereas this, let's say, weighs more than this, apparently I have enough oomph in my system that I'm tossing these with the power of Thor or the power of Superman or something like that, because I need to toss them, let's say, 2 feet. Because I can't, if I need to fire a weapon, yeah, I will drop the weapon. Because I'm not allowed to fire the guns with, or fire one gun. If I have to drop that weapon. Because I drop that weapon, like, or I should say that device, I don't mind dropping this. It's, again, completely cracked. It just doesn't drop. It will drop right in front of me and slide equivalent of 5 meters or 10 feet or so. It just doesn't get put down or dropped at my feet. Tossing, if I have to, let's say, in games like I picked this up, I found this. I needed to take to a safe house to decode this or fix it. I can't put it in my inventory. I have to, nor if by chance I'm like, oh, that safe house to decode this is I'll use American terms, a mile away, 2 miles away. Oh, as soon as I spawn my vehicle, yeah, you don't hold it anymore. God forbid that pad falls to the map. You got to go back and get it. Yeah. Or if you go too far from it, you don't realize it didn't spawn. You have to walk the 2 miles for that. The mile, 2 miles. And God forbid that safe house is a platforming safe house, or that silo is platforming. Meaning if, again, to use the game case, if one section of the safe house is right here, or that silo is here, and the next section is up here, and you have to grapple or jump over that because it's like that, oh yeah, you have to toss it over. That's just where I'm getting at. Same thing happens with the oil rigs. What happens is you don't just toss it onto that section. You will literally hit it, it'll bounce off, and if it doesn't bounce off to where you're at, it'll fall straight down, and because it falls straight down, it disappears into the ether. You have to walk back the 2 miles to go pick this up, walk back, and hopefully make it land on the platform. Because if it doesn't hit the edge and bounce straight down, it will fly over the edge, disappear. It won't be on the ground if you're able to get down there and pick it back up and try again. No, it will disappear. You got to walk all the way back and try again. Or it lands dead center, hits the edge, falls off. Or if you jump and glide, you're going to, because there's no real easy way, at least on the console, to stop that glide, you miss, you drop. Guess what happens to that device that's landed just perfect on it? Yeah, because you have to start all over or go all the way around to get up to it. Yeah, gone. You have to go back and get it. Congratulations. Not to mention, if you have to do that 5 out of 10 times, the enemies are going to respawn. So it becomes a aspect of frustration in the game. And remember, stuff like that, or it's like, it's not an us issue with the programming, it's a you the player issue. And with the community, it's, I don't know why I'm able to do this with ease. Are you playing on PC? I'm playing on console. Things are apparently different on console than it is on PC. So there's that aspect. Again, with yeah, I get it. The game has to have some level of difficulty. Now here's the issue. Another comparison. A buddy of mine, I got him Borderlands 4 as a gift. I managed to have enough to get him digitally. He didn't mind getting the game, just the regular game, digitally. Meaning not the deluxe version, not the super deluxe version, just the regular game. He didn't want anything special for it. He just wanted the plain vanilla game. And if he had money down the road for DLC or anything, cosmetics like that, yeah, he said, I'll get it myself. As long as, you know, I have the game, I'm able to play it, something new. I'm cool, you're cool, we're all cool. Whereas, as I was progressing, the bosses for me, again, not modded, playing it legit. It might take me 1 or 2 times. I didn't defeat that main boss or that boss of that section easily. Sometimes it would take me like sometimes 2 or 3 times to defeat that boss, but not too many times. Maybe let's say 3 times at best. He was struggling. Again, I'm playing on normal. I don't know what level of difficulty he was playing on, but he was going through and having, I mean, he was like, I died. I'm having issues with this boss. I keep dying like 10 times. I can't get through to this boss. Meanwhile, he's like, how many times did it take you to defeat? 3 times. 3rd time was a charm. He was like, what the hell? But on a side note, because I have like the Handsome Jack collection on, and I've had Borderlands 3 on my PS4, I noticed that because my shift account for Borderlands on my Xbox is pretty much tied to my PS4, my friends that are on the PS4 show up in my shift for my Xbox version of Borderlands 4. So good on Shift for that. But we'll get into the modding in a second. But speaking of Shift, I'm having some issues with Shift like I did with Borderlands 2. And that is, and it appears like this is not just a general shift. Now, according to Randy, I take what Randy says a lot of times with a grain of salt. It's like, shift is because sometimes when he releases shift codes, oh, shift should be working now. What, Randy? What? What do you mean it's not working? And that's what I've seen happening with shift. The fact that I guess when you play with friends, not just on the Xbox or players that might be on other platforms, it's all done, the whole multiplayer aspect or playing with friends is done through shift. And shift has just this nasty habit of going down. No, we're not going to work. Nah. Oh, Randy or Gearbox has issued like 3 or 4 codes because of everything, and you're trying to either type them in game or copy and paste them from Twitter to the website to redeem. No, you're not. They're expired. Randy Gearbox just dropped these codes 10 minutes ago. They're expired. Shipped was legitly like, they're expired. Yeah, they're expired. There have been codes from like Butterfinger and other companies like, hey, we're whether it be again Butterfinger, G Fuel, so forth and so on. Here's a code for you, and it may be the same code for everybody. Oh, that code's redeemed. What? How is it? I'm getting like from the community. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got like 10 people. Yeah, got it. But I go to, oh, it's redeemed. How's it? Was this a limited code? Was it only for 3 or 4 days? No, it's for everybody that wants to do it. But it's been redeemed. How? Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Even with the stuff from Gearbox, it's been redeemed. These are codes for everybody, and how are they redeemed? Again, to use Randy's favorite term, regards, that's not an us problem, that's a you problem. Somehow you typed them in wrong. I copied and pasted from you, Randy. The Gearbox, you retweeted what Gearbox posted up. How is it been redeemed or expired? Because shift is that, like, literally not working, not working. Had one code because they had this community things like, let's see if we can, servers are looking well, let's test the servers. If everything works out fine with a good, bad, ugly, whatever, we'll give you, depending on things go out, we'll give you a code. That's what they did. Go to redeem the code. According to Shift, I redeem the code. According to the website, I redeem the code. According to the game, I redeem the code. Did I receive the rewards attached to that Shift code? No. Because just like in Borderlands 2, I had to apparently go into screen and actually do, even though I was able to do it through the website, and I should have done it in game like I have to do in Borderlands 2. I didn't get it. I did contact support. It took 3 days before they decided, yeah, there you go. We looked into it and we kind of pushed things through. Of course, yeah. So yeah, if that's happening, it's going to happen. And again, Gearbox has a nasty habit of not fixing things. Now, a lot of the things that what I've been seeing, whereas in like the Borderlands 2 and the original Borderlands game, where there were things that were broken, but it made the game more fun. Now we're kind of talking about mods and modding. It made the game more fun, so therefore a lot of the players enjoyed it. They didn't talk about it. It's like, hey, this makes the game more fun. And because 2 was a popular game, people keep going, finding Borderlands 2, finding the Handsome Jack collection, playing 2. Even though you couldn't really mod in 2, with the Game of the Year edition of the original game, you can't really mod anything, but back on the days of the original Xbox 360 and PS3, you could mod the original Borderlands game. At least, on the PC and the consoles, you were able to get modded stuff. Trust me, I know. My rolling character is pretty much skill tree maxed out, and I have like modded shields and guns. And this correlates with 4, because back when the OG Borderlands was out, at least on the 360, because that's where I initially played it, I was one of these players that had folks that were modding and trying to give me modded stuff. I'd boot them and report them because I believed at the time they were cheating. How dare you cheat? How dare you? And I was the one during that time sounding like a Kawasaki motorbike by going, nin, 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 these cheaters, nin, nin, cheater. How dare you? And I tried to do I hopped in the multiplayer on the original game through matchmaking, and the folks that were there invited me to their game chat, their group chat, party chat on Xbox, and they're like, hey, we're going after the raid boss. And he said, do you want any modded stuff? He was like, dude. I said, dude, that's cheating. He said, let me explain something for you. You played the game straight through, right? And I said, yeah. He said, don't you realize a lot of you should be already realize that most of the games are equivalent of like pea shooters. You have this high-end, pew pew in game, and it practically does any damage. And I'm like, yeah, I've been kind of noticing that. Same thing with shields. And I'm like, yeah. He said, have you tried going up against this raid boss, which is Carmax? And I was like, yeah, he's a pain in my rear end. He said, exactly. You think the pew-pews are bad enough going against normal bosses and enemies as it is, as you saw going up against Carmax is even worse. And he said, what the bulk of the community that do the modding have like 3 groups. Well, technically 4. Folks that want to play everything vanilla and they want to work to, find that spot that Carmax can't reach and do things that way. And he said, that's the vanilla crowd. That's the regular folks that, want to play with that. We respect them. He said, the other 3 groups are one of the following. Use modded shields. That way, you'll last as long as you need to, and you're able to at least use your regular weapons to chip down Carmax and defeat him. And he said, there's group 2. The ones that use modded guns but want to play without modded shields and do things that way and defeat Carmax as quickly as possible. And I said, and the final group? He said, those folks like us. Let's use the modded shields and modded guns and just go to town and help folks like you. I was like, oh, that sounds cool. So, all right, let's use the Duke glitch and get you some, just in case you want to help your friends. And I was like, well, thank you. That's a good idea. That way I could help my friends, and if they want to play, I see your point. So, in essence, those folks changed my mind. And one day, we had me and a friend, we were playing through. His first playthrough. We had somebody come in, just drop stuff, and these were mods for the skill tree. And he was like, because the dude did come in our party chat, we invited him in, and he didn't really say much, but he was there, willing to talk. He was like, hey, you're here if you're willing to talk. If you don't have a mic, fine, you're cool. We're happy to have you. But he dropped in a whole mess of stuff that were SDU mods. He's like, but my buddy was like, hey, I want to play vanilla. I want to play vanilla. And he said, you want to pick up the stuff? That's on you. So I did. So my Roland is pretty much modded out. It's so bad it broke the game. The fact that even with the Game of the Year edition, I managed to import that character, and with a little bit of finagling, I can play that game vanilla and not affect, because if I go into my friends' games with that get the Game of the Year edition and never played, it messes up their game. It pretty much breaks their game. And they don't know what to do, where to go, so forth and so on. It pretty much gives them all the missions all at once. So I finagled a new character to have some of the modded stuff that doesn't really break their games if they want to help out. So that leads me to Borderlands 3. This many years later, Borderlands 3 drops, and of course I've played it many times. I beat it many times, and what's next? Here's what happens. Because the modders didn't come through, till then I had just a crap ton of modded guns. That way, if I have new friends that play Borderlands 3, I could go in and at least help. New train. This time I had a warning. Okay, that took a while. Sorry about that. I know I keep cutting out due to, well, train. But as I was talking, with Borderlands 3, I didn't get any modded stuff, mostly weapons, until, well, endgame. I was long done with the game, so I have that to help my friends out, and at least if they need assistance, if I'm playing with them in game, guess what I'm able to do? That is to simply go in, ease their frustration that they might have in 3, and get their back. Now fast forward to Borderlands 4. Modding didn't start until, I'd say, not even a week after release, which kind of surprised me that folks were doing these mods a week into the game. We're talking level 50 mods with instant level to 50, with a bulk load of money, iridium. They didn't mod the key number of keys you had, but it was, hey, you got these keys, you got the iridium, you got the cash, and you got enough things to get for your SD units. So plus the mod, because I was having frustrations, and I'm like, hey, let's see what level, if I get up to level 50. Here's the aspect. I jumped in, instead of jumping in with a brand new character, it was the character I was working with. Got all the way up to 50, had all the SD stuff, got a ton of cash, a ton of, iridium, and it turns out not only did I have all the skill points, I had all the skill points, which meant I was able to max out every tree, every aspect on each of those trees. Where the main branch I was using, everything was at 5. Everything was unlocked, everything was at 5. The other trees, everything was unlocked, everything was at 5. And I still had points left over. Which made, to me, whereas a lot of times the game was here, and I was, let's see if this one shows up a little bit better on screen. If this was here, and it does, and I was here, and when times the game wanted to be more frustrating and I couldn't, whatever, it seemed a lot of times it didn't make me, sometimes it made me a little bit, it adjusted things to like this. Other things, times it made things a little bit more on par. And it made things, at least for me, more tolerable. And if I needed to help friends out, that's what I did. Now, I'm not the kind of person that's going to hop in, to me, that's me. And the response I got on Facebook was, how dare you make this game so easy? And it's like, what? I'm not intruding your game. It's for my enjoyment. The game is so boring when you have every skill tree maxed out. So how dare you max out all your skill trees and make this game so goddamn boring? I'm like, 1, shut the hell up. 2, it's helping me. unlike maybe you that beat the story already on vanilla, I'm not screwing with your enjoyment of the game at all. I haven't finished the story mode yet. This is making the game more playable and more equally matched. Well, all my skill tree was maxed out, and I found everything was way too easy, and I was able to one-shot bosses. How dare... Like, dude, if you're one-shotting bosses... Now, mind you, this goes out to all of you. Not the ones that are in my comment section pounding away saying, how dare you mod, and yes, modding makes the game too goddamn easy. You don't have to play the game with modded weapons. You don't have to go into a lobby that's giving you modded weapons, boosting you to level 50, or anything along those lines. You don't have to. Don't have to. I did it because they were like, hey, you get everything maxed out, it will help you out. I was sick and tired, even in a base game, even with the early games, in regards to getting the STUs, getting the level up, that, hey, you made to a certain section, guess what? Out of ammo, guess what? You're SOL. You're out of luck. You don't have any ammo across the board. Now, with the maxed out STUs, I don't really have to worry about, you know what? No ammo? Congrats. You don't have to worry about that. And guess what? I'm playing with my friends, and I get to be the tank. I got to be the tank. So, and when I had one of my friends who I used to play with on PS4 hopped in our match, and it was like, he was telling me through, like, because he doesn't have Facebook, he doesn't have a lot of these social media stuff. So he actually called me, and he had me on speaker, and he's like, dude, I thought it was like you were the level 17 in regards to that. I didn't know you were the, this tank, But he was having a good time. He wasn't like, yeah, how dare you? He was like, but he was laughing. He understood. I said, to me, a lot of times the game is frustrating, and it helped me. It was helping me with a lot of aspects of the game. It's helping me progress with the game and make me enjoy the story a hell of a lot more. And he completely understood. He's like, yeah, I kind of got that. And he was like, yeah. So, like I said, I was enjoying it. It let me enjoy the game with the modded skill trees out. And having the community go, how dare you? It's like, I'm not playing with you. My friends don't give a damn. I'm helping my friends because they're hitting aspects of the game that are so damn frustrating. They're going to boss fights, and as soon as that boss comes out, they're getting smacked dead. Smacked dead. Well, and I'm being told, well, I'm going in and it's being easy. I didn't like one shot it. I'm like, dude, you do realize sites like IGN, Game Informer, and others like them are ranking builds, vanilla builds with certain weapons that you can farm as C and D tier. These are C and D tier builds that are just reaching the that if you have these, again, C and D tier, you go up against a boss. Oh, look, a boss. No, I don't. Yeah, they're one-shotting bosses with C and D tier builds, according to IGN and Game Informer. Hate to see what an S tier build is. So it's like, if you're able to do that with the right build, and it's like, therefore you can in essence make the game harder for you with just not having every skill tree without modding. The game can be extremely easy without modding, just with a certain build. That's number one. Number two, yes, it can be extra easy, but you don't have to do that. You could just make a build that makes the game harder for yourself. People have done it with the pre-sequel. They've done it with 2. They've done it with 3. Hey, I'm just doing it with a pistol. I'm not doing it with shields. Meaning, I'm doing a playthrough without shields this time around. I'm playing with just a pistol. I'm playing with just a sniper rifle. I'm playing, this way, the other way, all these different ways. You are allowed to do that. Or, I'm going to play it without using the skill trees. You can do that. And the fact that a lot of these folks that are bitching and complaining about the modding community, and those that are not for those folks that are doing that those folks who are taking advantage of those mods to help them along, so they're not frustrated. They can make through the game and explore the game and do what they need to do. They don't like that. Matter of fact, what happened after that, hey, you're over modded, X, Y, and Z. Now, granted, I have a job. I wasn't playing Borderlands 4, for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, and I beat it. I still haven't beaten the campaign. I stepped away from the game because of the update. Because the community, the ones that want to go, nin, 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 people are modding, nin, 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 nin. And Gearbox has that end user license agreement saying, hey, you can't, that's cheating. That's cheating. How dare you cheating? How dare you cheat? How dare you cheat? Even though we allowed it in 1, 2, pre-sequel, and 3. How dare you cheat? How dare you cheat? Oh, we have to do this because our boss is at 2K, even though they're the ones that released the early games. They allowed it to. How dare you cheat? They can't, because the games are now popular, and you have the player base that is going nin, 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 nin in the update. That skill trees glitch, that skill tree mod that helped a lot of players allowed a lot of players like myself have fun with the game, make the game more tolerable, more workable, and allow you to progress. As another person told me, my character, mine wasn't. Yeah, there are times that if enough enemies were spawned on screen, I would go down. Yes, yet there were a couple of times I just tossed out 2 grenades, and they were, because of the mods, I instead of tossing out 1, I tossed out 3, and boom, I'm back up. But there were a few times I'd go down from the ham and eggers, and I had to respawn. I was not immortal. And they were complaining, oh, no, you weren't. Yes, you were. No, I was not immortal. I didn't have infinite shields. I did not have infinite ammo. I didn't have a gun that would instantly one-shot anybody. I had none of that. Oh, no, I don't have that. I don't do that. I'm playing on a console. Matter of fact, I'm playing on the weakest console there is. I'm playing on a Series S. I'm not immortal. And so in the update, because people were nin a lot and reporting these mods to Gearbox, to 2K, what did they do in the update? Wiped everybody clean. There are players right now who, because of this update, didn't mod, didn't do anything, that are level 16 to 20. Because of this update, they have 1 skill point. They don't have, let's say they're at level 20, they don't have 19 skill points, because you got to take one off for when you're at level 1. You don't have any skill points. They have 19 others that they could go back and rebuild. No, they just have 1 skill point. Because that character I started with is a level 50, I have 49 skill points. And right now, because of the build that I try, and the weapons and shields and the class mods that I have that are available to me, that I'm trying to use to progress to the game, to beat the game, it's not working. It's the difference between the ham and eggers and where I am went from this to like that. And I'm level 50. Literally, this is not endgame stuff. This is level stuff. I don't have access to the additional stuff that could bring me up a little bit more. This is like down here now. I'm getting swamped. I'm getting insta-killed. It is very frustrating. In order for me to go from this back up to at least, try to be at least that, I have to make a fresh character. Literally, I have to make a fresh character. And start all over. Start the tutorial all over. I cannot skip the tutorial. I can't skip that beginning of the game. From what I hear, I can from once you beat the game. Because I did not beat the game. I can't skip that section of the game where I have to escape from this area, do the tutorial. I can't skip all that. I gotta play that. I gotta beat all that section all over again. I gotta do the tutorial stuff all over again. Why? Because the game, for me, on my regular character, the frustration is this big. Whereas if I had what I had it at, it would have been closer to this. Or with the section I'm in now, there might have been that, things would have been tolerable. And I've been like, yeah, this is a mofo. I need you guys in here, my friends in here, to help me out, even though I'm level 50. Let's have some fun. Let's beat this section. Let's get this shit done. But it looks like another train's coming. And, well, I'll see you on the other side of the train. Hopefully this is just one train, not 3. Well, that didn't last as long as the last one, but I'm glad it was shorter. And with this, hopefully with what's coming out over the next few weeks and months, with what I've been hearing in regards to the fall event that's going to be releasing within the next month or so, and what's being released not just within the next month, free-wise, with the paid content, the DLC, the character release that is going to be released in the next 3 to 4 months and beyond. It may give me a chance to revisit the game, and hopefully with the kind-hearted members of the community that aren't a bunch of crybabies, that want to help the community out, want to see us average John and Jane Does that just are struggling with the game, want to have fun with the game no matter what, and help their friends succeed in the game, will do something. So I am wonderfully happy with those folks, and grateful for in essence, the TK Bajas, or the players that are in the modding community that are working hard to get workarounds and so forth and so on with this. To those of you who are in the modding community and watched this video and made this for, my heart definitely goes out to you. And if I was in your lobby at one point, either as representing my podcast and my YouTube channel, or as a regular, average, casual gamer, thank you so much. You know, heart goes out to you, man. Heart goes out, you know. The whole kindness goes out to you. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for what you're doing to the community. You know, real stuff goes out to you doing, good work. Whatever the haters are saying, don't listen to them. Fuck them. I don't care. I don't get paid. So, and I'll say it. If you hate, I'm the one person, like, no matter what system you're playing on, PC, console, I don't care as long as it's not mobile. Yeah, screw those guys. But for the most part, if you're a console player, you like myself, or you play on a PC, as long as you're having fun and you're part of the community that is, hey, we could cross-play and play together. I think that's so cool. Let's team up and just play. And if you want to, and you made it this far, again, thank you for making it this far in the video. If you want to, if you're playing Borderlands 4 and you want to play with the show, I'd be happy to play with you and see if you do send me if you want to see my gamer tag, if you play on Team Green, or if you want my shift code, I will put it, just let me know in the comments, and I will be happy to put it out there. And if I'm on and you see me playing, even though I don't actively seek out other folks, I'm normally playing with friends that I know. But if you have me on shift and playing Borderlands, I'd be happy to have you in game, as long as you're not a dick or toxic player. If you are, you will get booted. But if you're out having fun, you just want to play and help out, help everybody, and just have fun, yeah, I'll let you in. But there are going to be times that I will adjust it to friends only. Or if I'm playing with just friends, I will just play on my personal account. That way I don't have to boot you from the game because I don't know you, you're not a friend or anything like that, or I'm waiting for friends. The only reason why that may be the case is unless I'm streaming under that account, and there are folks that I'm playing with, let's say Sasha, the Princess of Darkness, and she wants to stream on Twitch as well. That way, if me, her, and a friend of mine and a partner, we're waiting for her partner to hop on, that way we have a full empty aspect for it. Yeah, that's the only time we'll boot you as a viewer, because we're doing something as a community to benefit and get you more content. So, but we're not doing it to be rude. We're doing it because we're trying to create content for all of us, and it's strictly going to be a event for all of us. Because especially if Sasha gets on to do it, and we have friends that do charity events, like Josh, if he does a charity event, like, hey, we're doing a streaming event, I'd be the first to go, hey Sasha, if you got that PS5 yet, hop on over to your partner's place, hook it up to the Wi-Fi, get Borderlands, and yeah, that way we can do this charity event, and we could go to tell Josh, like, what do we need to do so we can stream and be a part of this. And because Josh does a lot of great stuff, shout out to him. And Victims and Villains. Yeah, especially that. I got a message, Jay, that if Leo from Skeleton Crew, see if he ever gets it. I'll message him through Twitter saying, hey, if you ever get Borderlands, add me on shift, whether it be Borderlands 3 or Borderlands 4. And I will definitely, have you hop in. And if you're on Facebook, let me know. I'll be happy to talk to you, coordinate things. Because Justin is, Jay has been a great guy over the years. We've known each other. We've collabed before many years ago. So those are the folks that, would take precedent over you, the viewer, when we're trying to do collabs and all that fun stuff. But again, I know this episode, this podcast, if you will, if I want to classify the podcast, I will, has been long. it's my thoughts and me airing my frustrations out to all of you about this, about Borderlands 4 and playing it. And again, the haters, the crybabies, like, oh, the game's too easy. How is it difficult for you? Well, it is. I can't help it because let me get on that, jump on that as well, because even though I'm winding things down, let's take Borderlands 3. There's been times I played my copy of Borderlands 3 on my Xbox, and I wasn't getting legendaries at all. Or I'd hop on my PS4 and play with like my friends there that were playing, and I wasn't getting legendaries at all. Whereas again, on my Xbox, I'd get 1 or 2 legendaries, and my friends were getting like, for every 5 or 6 my friends were getting on, the Xbox version, I was getting 1 or 2. And there were times I was getting anointed and stuff left and right, and they were barely getting anything. And I know I had one friend that one night I was getting anointed and legendaries left and right. I was like, ping. It was like ping, legendary, ping, anointed. And we're like, dude, another legendary. Oh, another anointed. He was like, you know what? Screw this. And he just rage quit right then and there. And I messaged him like later. I was like, why'd you quit? And he was like, I wasn't getting anything. You were getting, it seemed like every 10 seconds, 20 seconds, you were getting a legendary or anointed. And I was like, I'm sorry? And he said, yeah, but the fact that you were getting it, not me, it was just pissing me off. He's like, I was playing the game for like, before even you hopped on, we hopped on together. Yeah. That's happening now. I've had one friend say, like, yeah, you either have to play the game on easy in order to have that increased legendary chance. So yeah, it's the same game. You just do a little bit more damage, but that's what frustrates me with when it comes to popularity. If Borderlands was not as popular as it became with 2, I'm not saying 2 was a great game. 2 is a great game. But the thing is, with its popularity and with the popularity that, even though it receives a lot of hate from a lot of the diehard fans and those who complain about it, like myself, a lot of times, Borderlands 3 was very popular in and upon itself. So, with the popularity of Tiny Tina, maybe it was popular. Tiny Tina's Wonderland was popular, but with the popularity of the sequel and at least 3, this has been a popular game in and upon itself. From what I've been hearing, it hit 2 to 4 million copies sold. Again, that's the number I've been hearing. That's I think the number that's been pushed out by Gearbox and a lot of these major websites. But what I would like to know is, because from what I'm also been hearing, yes, I'm damn my show ADHD type of ordeal. Because a lot of the fan base, this is an issue that happened with Borderlands 3. Let me explain. What happened with Borderlands 3 is that they made it to that first boss. That they made it past that intro screen, that introduction screen. They made it to Claptrap. They made it to that first boss. And they beat that first boss. And that's why they stopped the game. They quit the game. So they made it play maybe about, if they skipped everything, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, tops. Or at most, a half hour. That's happening with Borderlands 4. Players are playing it for about a half an hour, which will probably get them, if they're starting out game fresh with a brand new character, they're getting to that first boss, realizing how frustrating it is or can be, and they're just saying, you know what, screw this, done, quit, I'm not playing this. So yeah, did they buy the game? Yes. So you have that. Let's go on the high side. 4 million copies sold. How many physical copies are now being returned to GameStop, or being returned or being traded in at a mom and pop gaming store similar to GameStop? Or because you're able, if you don't play for 2 hours on Steam or Epic Play Store. Steam is let's go with Steam because I know that's their play limit. If you play under 2 hours on Steam, you're able to return the game for at least partial credit or complete credit. How many players are doing that? Because back to Randy, we're coming full circle. Randy said, "Hey, if you don't like the game, you could always return it." How many bought the game and decided, you know what, screw this. I'm trading it in. I'm returning it. So, yeah. So on that note, and because I hear another train coming, it's been coming every 16 minutes, I'm going to end it here. Again, I would be much appreciated if you leave a comment down below, leave a like or leave a dislike, and if you want me to encourage me to make more content, please hit that subscribe button. Until then, I'm a gamer, and guess what? I'm not wearing a bikini, so I'm out.